Hi guys, and thanks for joining us here at the StormX AMA. For those of you from Telegram, good to see you on Discord. For those of you already here, thanks for joining. There is going to be 4 stages to this AMA, which was outlined in the announcement channel. The first round will be going through 5 pre-submitted questions that were already in the AMA channel. There will then be an opportunity for 5 more questions to come in live through the same AMA channel, which is visible just above the Live from StormX channel. After that, we will go into talking a little bit more about the roadmap, some points we've got coming up, and some success points we've seen through Q1. And then finally, Simon's going to pick a question from the AMA questions to then answer. So again, thanks for all being here. We're really excited to host this AMA with you. I know this has been a long time in the making, so let's get straight into it. There are a few questions here, but I should also mention we're joined by myself, which is Matthew Chuen. I'm the head of marketing here at StormX. Alex Hidalgo, who is the head of product. Martin Hashbells, who you may know as Tinu from the community management. And Simon Yu, who I'm sure you all know already, is the CEO of StormX. So straight into this. In terms of AMA questions, we've had some good ones. So thanks for that, guys. There's actually been quite a lot here, so we've been sifting through them before we joined here. But the first one I would like to delve into has been around the debit card, which, as you saw, we released just last week. The pre-registrations are now open, so I hope you've all had a chance to sign up. If you haven't, there's still plenty of time to get your pre-registration in. It will be on a first-come, first-served basis who receives a card. So the sooner you're in, the sooner you'll receive a card. Right, so the first question came in from Bugs Money, which says, when purchasing something with STMX debit card, will it be converted from STMX to fiat at the time of transaction? Is this a taxable event? Each time we buy something and convert to STMX, are these transactions taxable each time? I know really established cashback rewards won't be. And I'll hand this over to whoever wants to answer this.
One of the things that StormX is trying to do that's different from a lot of the other cryptocurrency projects is that we're trying to make this as easily accessible to just everyday people. I really want this product to be used by someone like my mom who's in her late 60s and just be able to use this without having to think about it twice. And we definitely understand that cryptocurrency exchanges and a lot of onboarding tools are really tough. And so we spent a lot of time and we were able to make this process as easy as possible. You probably saw the announcement. You could just walk in and just load up your debit card with 7-Eleven, Walgreens, Walmart, and some of the other stores as well. It's super exciting. But one of the key features here is when you onboard, so you can take your fiat currency. So let's say you want $100, you want to load it up. It'll be directly converted into StormX tokens. And then when you spend the StormX tokens, it'll be converted back into fiat. So out of the $100, you take it back. When you spend $10, that portion will be converted to fiat and will be able to spend. In terms of the taxable event, that is a great question. From what we understood originally, there was for each time that you did spend, that there was capital gains and loss attached to it. But some clarity came around yesterday. We're actually checking with our tax accountant, who's Deloitte, to try to figure out if there is a way to not have to pay taxes on each event based on some of the cashback ruling, which allows you to not have to pay taxes each time there's a transaction, which is super fascinating. This would be another great user experience because having to pay taxes back and forth is a lot of work. But we are getting some clarity around that with our tax advisors, and we'll let everyone know.
The next question comes in quite a few parts, but we'll try and tick off some of these because there's some good questions here. The first part, and that's from Max McIntyre, is can our staking rewards be automatically transferred to our debit card? I think that might be an Alex question.
Hey everybody, Alex here. So that's one of our most asked questions, just around staking in general. As we all know, gas fees are high. Ethereum is, because Ethereum is the most used blockchain around, we do want to make that easier. And there's a few ways we could do that we're looking into. We can use layer 2 solutions. We could do more off-chain stuff, which is, getting more popular. And there's also ways around, like, we can potentially supplement gas fees. We see some projects doing that. So we're exploring all options, figuring out what's the best way for us to go forward so that it's a much more seamless experience.
Are there any fees associated with topping up the debit card at Walmart, 7-Eleven, etc.? I think I can probably answer that one as well. No, there are no fees associated with topping up there at point of sale. You pay with fiat. At that point, we then top up your card with STMX. This one's definitely directed at you, Simon. And apparently, according to Max, this is the most important question for him and the toughest to answer. What is the recipe for the famous Korean barbecue tacos?
That's a family secret. But yeah, I mean, I think in all seriousness, I do want to add some more clarity on the debit card stuff as well too. So I think people were asking, what if there's no 7-Eleven or Walmart or anywhere nearby?
Push to talk, Simon.
Wrong button for push to talk. Okay. Yeah, that's a family secret, and I can't disclose the Korean tacos, unfortunately. But if we do have a StormX event, maybe we can make a bunch for our community members, and you guys can eat some tacos on me. But yeah, I do want to add some clarity on the debit card as well too. So I think one of the other questions that we got was, what if there's no 7-Eleven or Walmart or any of these stores nearby? Like, how can I top up the card? You can always just do it the old-fashioned way. I mean, we work with cryptocurrency exchanges, wallets. You can just transfer over your StormX to your card. It's super convenient, and just adding to the staking questions as well too. So whatever you have in your balance for the staking rewards, you can send your staking rewards to your card directly, so you can have it on the card, so you'll be able to spend. And yeah, we're just trying to make this as convenient as possible for all users, whether you're in crypto or not.
Cool. Thanks, Simon. So on to the next question. Martijn, feel free to jump in and choose some questions if there's anything here that you like as well.
I'll do that, man.
Here's another one, which is debit card related again. What will the crypto back percentage be when buying stuff at stores using the debit card?
It's something I'm really excited. I think too many people that haven't really done too much research into our project don't really know what the StormX tokens are used for. And so, we've been in this space for about 7 years, and I think there's a lot of crap out there. I mean, I'm just going to very bluntly say it. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies that don't do anything. But in our case, our number one goal right now is to try to continue making the token as useful as possible with our products. And so as of right now, to this date, if you own tokens and just transfer it to your wallet, you don't have to stake it, and you connect that, Web3 wallet to your account, you get, higher cashback bonuses from hundreds of different stores, and soon it'll be in the thousands. But, so if you're a diamond member, for example, you get, 24.5% off all hotels through Agoda. There's also flights, there's restaurants like e-commerce sites, there's all these different stores that you just get memberships, right? And for even bronze or silver or gold, there's still other tiers and benefits that users can receive. But what we're doing with the card is it's going to offer an additional cashback layer. So if you're a StormX holder, you'll be able to receive cashback that's significantly higher than any other card provider out there. And that's we just have all these merchant relationships, and that's something that we're really excited to bring. Right now, some of the popular cards, especially in the U.S., are Sapphire Reserve, American Express. But what we're planning to launch is at least for StormX token holders, you'll be able to receive cashback that's even higher than those. So you're receiving 3% back at restaurants. We're probably looking at anywhere from like 5 to double-digit percentages. If you're looking at travel, like for flights, which I think after the pandemic, a lot of people will be start traveling. We're going to try to get you the best rates as possible. But two philosophies there. So one, right now on the card business, banks take an extremely high profit margin. And our strategy has always been to just bring the cost savings back to the users and give them the savings. Then they'll be happy and spread across as many users as possible. In our case, and I've tweeted this out a few times, I think as well too, is if you have 1 billion users at the end of the day, all you have to do is figure out how to monetize $1 a year, and you have $1 billion a year revenue business. And so that's sort of how our mindset works, right? So we don't have to take high profit margins, give as much cost savings back to the users, let them be happy, and then the business tends to grow by itself. And the second is, for token holders, they'll be able to receive unbelievable rates. And so the more tokens you own, you'll just continue getting all the benefits as we continue onboarding relationships with all these different brands and other utility outside of just the cashback as well.
Off the back of the question there, I saw someone also mentioned around the regulation. Are we FDIC compliant? And I think just to answer those as well, we are. The information we made readily available around some of the legal aspects of that. But yeah, I think it's worth mentioning that yes, we are FDIC backed. How is STMX going to set themselves apart from the other huge companies like Visa offering crypto cashback with BTC? And I think that one's pretty simply answered by what Simon just said. Whereas these companies are able to offer smaller fixed percentages through the way we'll be handling this, you can look at expecting higher rates, and as Simon mentioned, in some cases perhaps even double digits. And then these are all exactly on top of the the extra rewards you could be earning through the app. And then layering the card on top of that as well is it's a no-brainer. I saw one just come in now from Razorwire, which says, "Hello Simon. You mentioned a lot of times you're working on marketing. Can you elaborate more on social media awareness and marketing efforts that are currently in the works?" I can happily take this one. Yeah, we've got quite a few things in the pipeline. We're definitely expanding our team at the moment to deal with capacity. So that's interesting. So we'll have more people coming on board to help with our marketing efforts. We've also recently been working on some interesting things. I'd love to tell you more, but unfortunately, due to the nature of marketing, I can't at the moment. Yeah, there's a lot in the works at the moment. As you can imagine, we're a small team. We have a lot going on, so we definitely do put in as much effort as we can. There's a lot of questions around this I see quite frequently regarding advertising. I know a lot of people thought that perhaps we paid a lot of YouTubers to talk about us. That's not something we had done. That was all organically based. But we are looking into working with influencers in the future. Granted, the fit is correct. Whereas people may look at certain YouTubers who talk about coins and speculate on price, that's not where we're looking. We're looking at people who would add more value to our product, and how we can build a narrative around the benefits that we offer to people from a retail perspective, as well as a debit card perspective. In terms of other things coming up, again, like I said, I can't tell you, but we do have a lot of interesting things that will be announced shortly.
I have one more question. I think it's being asked a lot by the community. Hi everyone, by the way, I'm Tino. A lot of people ask if we are going to swap to another chain, for example, Binance Smart Chain, Cardano, or any other chain. Alex, perhaps you can say something about that.
Yeah, for sure. We've definitely talked to a lot of the people that run these other chains and have had more of a deep dive on, who's actually building really good tech. We think Ethereum is still the place to be. There's just so much developer activity. There's so much liquidity. There's so many users. And, Ethereum is taking a long time in terms of like trying to get towards, 2.0 but there's more solutions coming out for L2, because a lot of this discussion around is like, throughput and gas prices, right? So even with, Ethereum taking a long time to get to 2.0, it still is the chain for us to stick on. With that said, we're always talking to other projects. We're always trying to learn more. And as those other chains develop more of their products, as more developer activity starts spinning up, and there's good wallet experiences, we're always thinking about it, keeping the back of our head, make sure that we build, like a really great user experience over time.
I see Anto174, you said, will there be a card for the UK? Currently, US is the first location we'll be launching in. We do have 31 further European countries to be added later down the roadmap. So that will definitely happen as we roll out further. So yep, UK and Europe is definitely on the list. When will Amazon be added to the list? I just want to nip that one in the bud straight away before that comes up a million times. We work as hard as we can to acquire partners. In regards to Amazon, they're a tough nut to crack. Believe me, if we get Amazon on board, you'll be the first to know.
But there are other ways of adding Amazon.
Yeah, and I think Simon as well would probably enjoy telling you about some other options there, but I think maybe it's not the time right now. But
yeah.
but there are definitely some other options around how we can achieve that.
We hear our community loud and clear, so we know this is a huge request. So we're definitely working on it. It just takes time.
There's an interesting question here from Crypto HQ, which is, would you consider launching a stablecoin in regards to the debit card? A liquidity pool, DeFi-like savings account could be great, low-risk savings.
That's a great point. And yeah, I actually really like, if you guys ever checked out Terra Luna and sort of how they do their payment structure as well too. Do Kwon from Terra is a good friend of mine, and yeah, I mean, they have an interesting model, and it's just great to see that that model is working as well too. Is something that we can definitely expand. As of right now, we're purely focusing on trying to get the product out. We're always focused on trying to, bring adoption first, and then working on other features.
Fred, this one is from Cortez. What do you see as the greatest challenge in the short-term future, and how do you plan on overcoming that? I thought it was a great question.
I could probably answer that too. Yeah, just going back into sort of our core philosophy, right, and going back to the point that I made that more than 90% of the cryptocurrencies don't actually do anything. I think that's what sets us different. As a company, we've been around for about 7 years. We've gone through lots of ups and downs, especially in the last bear market. It hasn't been easy. But what we're trying to do is, first, definitely the product perspective. How can we make the product as easy as possible for anyone to use, not just people that are, like balls deep into cryptocurrencies, but just like anyone, again, going back to my parents or just like anyone's grandma can use, just easy to access. But the second is also just, how can we actually make the token more useful as well too? So as long as we continue delivering for the long term, yeah, short term, there's always distractions, there's weird things going on with trends and cryptocurrencies and a lot of noise, but our focus is always just continuing delivering for the long term, and all regardless of what ups and downs we have in the short term, it always ends up paying up. And that just goes back to how can we make the product more useful, how can we make the token more useful with the product as well.
So another one for you, Alex, I think. Are we going to change the requirements for the reward memberships?
Yes, we definitely will. It's changed pretty drastically over the past couple of months. We are going to adjust them. We don't have a date on when that's going to happen yet. And we would also like to hear from the community. Like, we want to get the community more involved. We've started to talk about like off-chain governance and, actually making sure we're doing what everyone wants us to be doing that has, ownership and like the desire to be a part of this team. So yeah, that's something we're going to be talking about more. Want to hear more from the community, and again on the off-chain governance side, because we didn't talk about it too much, but we will be putting something out soon about the token swap proposal to help some of the community members that didn't get a swap last time, and we're going to be doing it for sure, but we want input on how to achieve it, and we have a good proposal on what we think the best path forward is, and we'll be talking more about that soon.
I think I can answer a question that keeps popping up. Are we planning on getting added on other exchanges or Coinbase? I see that all the time as well too. But just want to say we did, have a couple conversations with some of the larger exchanges. However, it's not up to us. Any exchange listing, for us, it really helps us because we're trying to build this app and make it as more accessible for users, and for users that acquire tokens, they can use it to upgrade their memberships, and they can use it to get cash back. So it's just more and more useful. However, for that process, it's entirely up on the exchanges. So, as users, and if you're using their platform, you could probably nicely ask, hey, can you add StormX? And if enough people that might ask, I think they might consider it more. So on that process, yeah, I mean, we don't have any control over, which exchanges we get added to. So.
Well, there was one that I did see that was interesting, which was how the potential merchandise owners get themselves to be listed on StormX. So to be able to integrate their stores to be listed. I think that's something that's quite interesting as well. If you're out there as a small business owner and you want to list your store on StormX, we can look at that in a number of ways. We're working at a more smoother operation and to be able to onboard ad hoc brands. I think it's something that we'll definitely try to achieve in the future. However, if there is something you'd like to discuss regarding your store or getting your store onto the app or the extension, you can always reach out to ourselves, and Brad, our account manager, will happily guide you through how to get your store onto the app. Another one, which was, when will the debit cards be sent out? That's a tough one. It's not particularly too long from now. I can't give you an exact date. We're working pretty swiftly now to get this ready for everyone. The pre-registrations have opened, and as he said, it is going to be on a first come first served basis. So the sooner you're registering, the sooner you'll receive your card. So I would tell everyone just to register as soon as possible to ensure you're in the first waves of cards that go out.
Yeah, I've got a question. So from Crafted Diamond, when we earn STMX from purchases, he's asking what can we do with them? And so just to explain our membership model for those of you that might not know, as you earn our StormX token, the more you have, you use that to upgrade your membership. And the higher the membership you have, the higher crypto cash back you get, the faster you get your rewards. And over time, we're going to keep adding more and more benefits to this membership, so it becomes like a really valuable item to hold on to. And also, once the card launches, you'll be able to spend your StormX tokens wherever Visa is accepted. We'll launch first in the US and expand from there. But the goal is utility token, right? So the more utility, the more membership functions we can add, the better.
After completion of the debit card, would you consider deploying ATMs or operating almost like Pundi?
ATMs is a good question. I mean, if enough people ask, like, there's definitely ways that we could get it integrated. But the experience that I've had with crypto ATMs has just been terrible, just because the fees are so high. I'd rather not have someone pay like a 30-40% premium on, whatever they're paying for, just because of the ATM interchange fees, which could be quite a pain. I'd rather have our users keep more of it themselves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Another one here. Can we order food off STMX, like Domino's or any fast food ordering services?
Bitcoin
me,
pizzas.
I'm ready to order my pizzas and get some crypto cash back.
Same here.
Yeah, I mean, our sales and accounts team are always looking into providing the best they can for users of the app. We're always looking into ways to include more daily shops, for instance, especially food, etc. So just keep an eye out. They're always forever hard working at this, and as soon as these things are added, you'll be the first to know.
Hey guys, so we did talk about like one of the biggest upcoming milestones, obviously debit card. To break that down a little bit more, when we launch, we'll be doing like a debit card platform where you'll be able to access your card, do all the usual functions of a debit card, have your address that you can send StormX tokens to, and then phase 2 for the debit card that we'll work on like almost immediately after that is like bringing that experience in-house. So like having it inside of the mobile app, having it blend into our UI, making it an even more seamless experience so everything's all in one place. We're breaking it up into 2 phases because it's just faster for our development. The goal is to get this out to everyone in the US as soon as possible, so then we can get to Europe, so we can get to Asia, so we can get to everywhere else. And so that's the fastest way forward. We also, so this was like discovered on Twitter accidentally. I think Simon like posted someone and someone got a screenshot, and then they could like zoom in and could kind of like see what he was talking about. But we are working on an NFT experiment. We can't say too much about it yet unless Simon wants to, but yeah, I say an experiment because we're not building out a full suite of anything right now, but we do want to start spending some time on it because NFTs are here to stay. I understand that there's a lot of hype and a bubble around NFTs, some would say, but it's still a really useful technology, and it's still a really great way for people to solve some of these other use cases, everything from doing IP to ownership and a lot of awesome things. Other things on our roadmap, we already mentioned the off-chain governance we'll be working on soon. We're always improving shop tracking. So that's something else that comes up a lot in our support team. How do we make it so we don't lose our shop tracking? We're working on a better flow for that right now, and that's something we're always improving. And yeah, towards the end of the year, we're going to start working on like a shop web experience. So being able to shop from your web browser on your desktop. We already have a Chrome extension, but being able to like see the stores on a web page without downloading the Chrome extension, starting shopping trips from there, so that there's a bit less friction where you don't have to install something already. And I think that's it for me to talk on roadmap. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Alex. I don't know if Simon, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, regarding off-chain governance, I think this is a very underrated feature that Alex just briefly mentioned as well too, just because as StormX users and community members, you guys could actually vote on quite a bit of things in terms of how our product works. And from like a user of Amazon, for example, if I could vote like how much Prime should cost, or what kind of features that I should get from Amazon or Facebook or Google, would be really cool. But in our case, like, hey, we're building this app for our users. Let's let our users vote on this feature, or what cashback rates or some of the other triggers that the users can do it. And so in a way that you guys are also helping us build a project. And this is, the whole ethos of blockchain, which is decentralization. And this is really exciting. I don't think any other tech companies in the traditional space have really done this. And we're really trying to change so how tech companies and products are built, which I think is truly revolutionary. There was another good question around how we're going to survive another crypto winter. I think that's a great one. I think since I've been with StormX full time and quitting my job, and I had a very stable income from banking, and I decided to quit that because I believe in this whole Bitcoin blockchain ecosystem. And I think some of you guys know my story of like I ended up resorting to selling Korean tacos and driving for Uber to try to keep this business afloat because we couldn't get funding in the beginning because every VC thought Bitcoin was a joke. But yeah, I mean, we've gone through multiple bear markets, and this one I think is exceptionally different because we just recently raised a new round of funding. I think you probably saw from strategic investors, so we have a lot more money in the bank. Plus, our product's just been really doing well. So outside of that, we just have a lot more capital that we can deploy. And so we're starting to expand our team. Right now, our number one focus is hiring some really good developers. So if you know any top blockchain developers or backend developers, definitely let us know or get us connected, because if we end up hiring them through referral, we'll also give you a couple $1,000 as a referral bonus as well. So big incentive for you, and they'll also help build StormX and all the future plans that we have, which we have quite a number of huge projects that we're working on. That's quite exciting, but we definitely need help in getting this built faster. So looking for a lot of talented people that work hard, that want to build a future, and help us spread the word in terms of hiring. Yeah, I think we answered a lot of great questions. I mean, it's awesome to see so many people so excited about our project. I think we are too, and it just I think myself included, our team members really do take feedback, even criticism, pretty seriously. So when you guys post stuff, like, we might not respond immediately, but we're definitely watching to see, okay, what are people questioning, or what are people asking for in terms of improvements. There's definitely a lot of similar themes that's happening over and over again, and we are working on a lot of these behind the scenes, and when we start getting more information, especially around marketing and stuff like that, we'll definitely let people know, especially around partnerships and stuff like that. Contracts and stuff could always break halfway, so we tend to not announce until we actually have something completely finalized. But yeah, we're really trying to build a community-driven project. So I think we're serious when we say this. That a lot of CEOs will not just interact with their community. But just my brief stint at Amazon like 10 years ago, I just really respected what Jeff Bezos did. Was he would even jump in customer support, answering phone calls every once in here, and he would also get some of their VPs and executives to do the same thing as well too. So we sort of have a similar philosophy in our company as well too. So everyone is always looking at community support and stuff like that together. And we're all reading the Telegram, Discord channels, and support tickets. So regardless of how big we are, we'll always continue interacting with the community, and we'll keep that mindset, and we'll always look at progressing. So yeah, thank you everyone.
Cool. Thanks for that, Simon. Yeah, and thanks to all of you for coming by to join us for this AMA today. I think we maxed out at around 350 people at one point, so that's pretty cool. So thanks all for being here. I guess all that remains to be said is that we'll see you at the next one. And if you haven't already pre-registered for your debit cards, what are you waiting? Get in there, get yourself pre-registered, and keep yourself up to date with everything that's going on. And also, for those who are new to Discord, good to see you here. We're trying to migrate ourselves here to Discord slowly. So hopefully stick around and enjoy some of the community here. But again, thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you at the next AMA.